wisdom therapeutics. We also do like training on certain things to help coaches and also individuals to be able to help edify and to empower their lives. And one area you could bring empowerment is through communication. So what you're going to do is you're going to do like fill out a little assessment. Don't think too hard on it. All right, and so the intention behind it is to help uncover where our blocks to listening is at. We all have blocks to listening, so nobody's exempt from it. We all have it. But sometimes when we lack the self-awareness about it, then we probably find ourselves creating a lot of frustrations when we get in heated discussions or we're trying to communicate things clearly. So in order to communicate effectively, self-awareness is the base behind that. When you're not self-aware, it's hard for you to communicate effectively. When you're self-aware, it makes you become very mindful of other people, and it helps you be able to make sure you're translating or communicating what you need to come across to meet the end result of the communication, which is understanding. A lot of us are guilty of not giving 100% of our attention, correct?
Right.
I'm not the only one that's guilty of that, right? Okay. So,
No.
So that's what's talking about, giving 100% of your attention. And this is why we're also identifying the blocks that we're dealing with, because sometimes, as we all know, we are guilty of not giving 100% of attention. So we want to find out probably why. So this kind of is giving you a basic assessment to maybe just give you the point to why or where your hindrances might be in terms of why you cannot give the 100%. Being able to see. A lot of times we talk and we're not quiet enough to begin to try to see what's being said, but also the other part I like to bring out is be able to see from each other's point of view. I'll revert back to that. Then the being single of heart refers to giving your attention to the speaker. In other words, being able to listen, and I'm going to add this part, being able to listen but hear from multiple angles, so that way you're not being biased to what you think they're saying. Sometimes we listen to stuff, we want to listen from one angle. We just hear what they say topic, but there's other factors inside the communication. For example, there might be some stakeholders involved in it, right? There might be a beneficiary in the situation. There might be someone that's a victim in it. We're not paying attention to all the scenarios inside what's being communicated. Inside the box, we're going to see things from a truth view. Most people don't see that at first, right? In the open box, you ain't seeing things from the truth. Now, one person might be, because they defend themselves, like, no, that ain't what happened, da-da-da-da. The other person emotional, they're going through all the things. So there's basically three primary views in the open voice box, which is the truth view, you got the emotional view, and then you have the ego view. So the open voice box is very important because it allows the ego to have its moment. Okay? A lot of times we try to avoid that because that's pretty much where all the battle is coming at, right? You know, because we're either trying to protect the ego, defend the ego, or advocate the ego in the communication. And we're all guilty of it. All right? So you basically everything on the raw form on the table. And so the next voice box is switching the voice. And when you switch the voice, the interesting thing what we do is you change the focus. In other words, we're going to eliminate one of the views, which is the ego view. Well, how do we change the ego view? We begin to challenge each other to see it from each other's eyes.
Where will you go when it comes to an end? Look in the mirror, what does she say?